Looking for a place that does it all? Maldinis by the River serves mouth-watering breakfasts, pasta, pizzas and more, plus amazing coffee and cocktails. They hit the spot every single time. You're planning a special event? Well, their private function room and versatile restaurant are the perfect place for any celebration. Good food, good friends, good times, Maldinis. Welcome back to Life in 5, the podcast where we dive into 5 moments that have shaped some of the most interesting people in sport, media and entertainment. I'm MG and today's guest is a fan favourite both on the field and behind the microphone. Well known for some iconic try celebrations, his toughness in the middle and his sharp wit on the radio. My next guest brought personality to the game like few others. Brings me great pleasure to introduce Mark Piggy Riddell. Wow. You finally made it.
Great to be here, MG. Thanks for the intro.
Mate, you are a dead set character of our game. You before we get stuck into your photos, what is Mark Riddell doing in 2025?
Yeah, pretty busy now. Obviously working on the radio at 2GB, been doing that now for 13 years and
wow.
That's been tremendous. To retire from the game and then I almost fell into it way back in 2012 to get that opportunity, and then 13 years later still be here doing it, having a heap of fun with people like yourself and many others, and calling the footy as well. So I'm doing that, and also over the last 12 months I've got back involved in clubland at the Dragons and assistant coach in the NRLW side, which is just finished now, and then just taken on a new role as the head of recruitment for the NRLW and female pathways. So
wow.
It's keeping me busy, but I enjoy it. It's down where I live as well, so it's great to be back at an old club and potentially having a little bit of influence of the female pathways and the NRLW space.
Well, I don't know if there's a photo that you'll show today about the NRLW, but I probably doubt it because you only just started it. But how much has it changed in the last 2 to 3 years? I mean, how professional are they becoming? Imagine if it was full-time.
Yeah. Well, I can give you a pretty good idea about that because way back in 2013, I actually coached the New South Wales Women's Origin. It wasn't Origin, it was just a state challenge back then, New South Wales versus Queensland. I coached the side back in 2013. It was actually what ended up leading me back to the Dragons the start of this year. So when I coached that New South Wales team, I actually gave Sammy Bremner her New South Wales debut. Sammy Bremner's now the Dragons head of football or football manager at the NRLW squad for the NRLW squad. So Sammy gave me a phone call. Yeah, her and Crossy, Nathan Crossy's the head coach, and that's how it all eventuated. So when I coached that New South Wales side back in 2013, we stayed in, and you'll know this, we stayed in the caravan park at Penrith. And you know the one right on the Nepean River there.
The river there, yeah.
The girls stayed in cabins there for two nights, I think it was, 2 or 3 nights, and we played before a Penrith game on that weekend. So it's great for me to see sort of how far the game's gone. Way back then when I was coaching that team, we did as much as we could to sort of get it exposure. We went on the footy show, went on a few other football TV shows that were around at the time. We were on 2GB, just trying to give the girls a bit of profile. Good. And it's come full circle. So now I'm back there working with Sammy again. I've been fortunate to watch Sammy Bremner's career unfold from an 18-year-old that wasn't sure that rugby league was for her to being one of, if not one of the best players in our game that the women's games had. So thoroughly enjoying being back working with her.
We had Tasha Gale on this podcast a couple of months ago, and some of her stories were just epic. And she reflected it as well as on how far the NRLW has come. So, your first photo, Piglet. This is obviously, I would say, this is you and your siblings.
Yeah.
I'm picturing you're the front left.
Yeah, that's me.
As we look at it, and the guy in the middle looks like Rolsey. Tell us about why this is so special to you and who's in the photo.
Yeah, so the one top middle, that's my eldest brother Luke.
Yep.
The one on the right in the yellow striped polo is
He looks mischievous.
My older brother Shane. Obviously, that's me in the light blue polo, and my little sister Erin.
Oh wow.
it's funny. We were going back through the photos. I was going back through my photos with Mum and Dad the other day. In preparation.
Was that fun?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. And the amount of times I was taking photos of the photos and sending them to my sister
Wow.
or to the other guys, it was a great opportunity. But the issue that we had was that we went back through all our photo albums and we could not find one photo of my mum and dad
With you
and the
guys?
4 kids.
Whoa.
Because, and my mum and dad were like, well, it was either one of us taking the photo and the other one in the photo and vice versa. And we didn't actually have a photo when we were all young of all of them. So that's why I picked this photo and I loved it because I love the outfits.
Oh.
Mate, as a parent now, I wouldn't do it to my kids.
That's a typical 80s photo.
Yeah, do you agree?
Oh
the ruggers with the matching polo.
Yeah, you look like come straight off a sailing boat. Ahoy!
Mate, but I just love that photo. And then, it's about my childhood.
Yes.
And growing up with 2 older brothers and a younger sister. And I suppose this photo as well probably reflects how much of an influence, especially my 2 older brothers had, like playing footy.
Were they footy player? Are they?
Yeah. So Luke, he got to Jersey Flegg. He was at the Roosters. He played in the Jersey Flegg side that actually won the competition. Played with Trent Robinson, Nathan Blacklock. There's a few other boys, I think, as well, but. He got to that level. My middle brother Shane, he played Harold Matthews, SG Ball, all for the Bulldogs and everything.
All good genes.
So yeah, but I suppose when you reflect on your own career, you sort of start to realise the influence that your older brothers probably had on your career.
Yeah.
And whether it was in the backyard playing footy and getting bashed up, and I know it
Licking
sounds
your wounds.
Yeah, but I know it sounds fun, but I suppose you've probably got it with Maddie as well as a younger one. I know, that's right. And Maddie will probably speak to the same. And I sort of see, the way that we played in the backyard or down at the footy field, and I got the absolute crap bashed out of me, by my older brothers. But that's probably what made me into the player that I was, even going through my junior career.
And what about Sis? What's Sis? Is she a sportswoman?
My sister tried every sport that was known to man, and that was part of going through the photos. I was sending her photos of every sport. So there was tennis, there was swimming, there was basketball, there was karate.
What about that?
So
I do that with my kids. I said, let's go tennis because, and they last two lessons.
That's right.
Then a bit of taekwondo. They go, Daddy, for real?
Yeah.
Just give me a football.
So that's what that photo was, and she tried plenty of sports, but sport probably.
And are you
wasn't.
close? Are your siblings close? Like I know Matt, who lives up on the Gold Coast. My brother, I probably see him once every 2 or 3 years, but I speak to him like text messages almost daily.
Yeah,
but I don't get to see him that often. My 2 sisters up at the Central Coast, a little bit more, but not as much as I'd like to.
Yeah, well, I suppose. Well, the two older brothers actually live on the Gold Coast as well, and their kids go to the same school that your brother teaches at.
Your brothers and my brothers see more of each other.
They would see more of each other than we see of each other because, and I know we're getting off topic here a little bit, but Matt's actually had an influence over my nephews and coaching rugby league up there at Marymount College.
Marymount, yes.
So.
What a small world.
Small world, yeah. But we still talk, and whether they come down to South Coast where we are or we go up there, we're pretty fortunate. The family, the 2 brothers are based on the Gold Coast. They're pretty close in proximity of where they live. Yep. And then my mum and dad, myself and my sister and her family, we all live down at Shell Harbour, Shell Cove. So it works pretty well when a group of them want to come down, they get to see everyone, and when we want to go up there, we obviously get.
And as we're getting older, you realise how special family is.
Yeah, you do.
How it's everything.
Yeah, it is, and I suppose now it's about for my mum and dad, it's about the grandkids, isn't it? And for us, it's about our nieces and nephews, and we've got plenty of nieces and nephews up on the Goldie, and the same down where we are. So it works pretty well.
Well, photo number 2, you're speaking about the grandparents. I take it this is mum and dad, and tell us who's in this photo and Why it means so much to you, Piggy?
Oh, this one was just a good photo of mum and dad. It's that they're my three kids when they were younger in that photo. That photo was actually taken up on the Gold Coast. We took a trip up there. We booked a big house and all stayed there. And obviously the brothers were up there as well. That's my little niece in the background. I actually didn't notice that until I saw it there. But it's mainly, my mum and dad and the influence that they've had over, not only myself but my family for a long, long time, and still do to this day. So, Dad was a police officer. He was a detective sergeant in the police force in Sydney. He worked in fingerprint crime scene. So, he obviously was there for about 30 odd years before he retired. And Mum, was predominantly stay-at-home mum, looked after the kids, looked after all us, which was a pretty big job. And we grew up in a blue-collar area, Revesby, lived there our whole lives until sort of we got older and moved away. But, it's just a great photo of mum and dad, and I suppose the big influence that they've got over my grandkids now as well. They get to see them most days of the week.
That's good.
My boys in particular, they're a little bit older, so they are out doing their own thing, but I'll always get a phone call saying, Harry's called in here or Will's called into our place, because they give them everything that I didn't get as a. That's what grandparents are. You'll understand this now, won't you?
Mine just turned one.
Yeah.
And I know how bloody awesome it is. Is there any lesson that your mum and dad taught you growing up that you now pass on to your kids?
Probably just the hard work. Looking back and reflecting on, I suppose, my childhood and my footy career, they were pretty tough, pretty tough on me and how
Dad
I played.
Dad more so?
No, both.
Oh, really? My dad was like, wouldn't talk to me if I had a bad game. Mum would go, darling, you were man of the match.
No, well, I used to get in the car.
No, I fucking played shit.
Very similar, but both.
Wow.
So I can remember days there if I didn't play well, then it was the silent treatment in the car. From both. They just would not talk to me. But it's funny now.
They're both bad cop, not good cop, bad cop.
There wasn't good cop, bad cop. They were both bad cop if I didn't play well. But thoroughly supportive. And I suppose when you're older and you look back and then you understand why. And
we do.
My parents went to every football game that I ever played. They flew to New Zealand when I was playing. They went everywhere. They went around, played in England. They came over there. They just followed everything and supported me in my whole career. So, mate, they obviously had a huge influence over my life. Still do to this day. They're still probably the first couple of phone calls I make when I've got a big decision to make, or whether it's work, whether it's life, anything like that. So
that's awesome.
Very, very, very special. Yep.
Photo number 3. Wow, this looks like this could be back in 1930. This photo, because it's got that grainy black and white look about it, but it looks something pretty special to you. Yeah. Tell us about this photo and where are you? Are you with the ball?
No, I'm on the left there.
Yep.
I'm about to make the tackle.
You're about to smash him.
Yeah.
What age?
Under 7s, I think that was.
Wow-wee.
But the big thing about this photo, there's a couple of things for me, and it's a really special photo. That was at Belmore Sports Ground, when the kids go and play on...
At halftime?
At halftime or before the game.
I was going to say, look at the crowd in the background.
Yeah. So that was at Belmore Sports Ground. We were playing there. So that's me on the left, but that's my best mate right next to me, Glenn Hall.
Blondie?
Yeah, Glenn Hall. Glenn Hall, who's premiership winning Manly forward. And that's my local footy club, St Christopher's Panania. It's the only sort of local footy club I played for.
What colour was this? Is black and white. What colour were they?
They were maroon and yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, still are to this day. And I picked this photo because for 2 reasons. My love of the footy club and what I learnt at that footy club. The footy club that St Christopher's was back in the 80s and the 90s, there was a whole bunch of families, and it was our whole life. I lived at the top of the home ground, so I lived at the top of the road, the River Road.
Well, you in the grandstand?
No, well, my house was literally a couple of 100 metres from the ground.
Wow-wee.
So my family lived at the clubhouse. I would wake up Saturday morning, like most kids. I'd get dressed at 6 a.m.
Yep.
I'd walk straight down to the Oval every Saturday morning. I'd help all the dads set up the ground.
Yep.
And I don't think I'd leave there till probably 10 or 11 o'clock at night because mum and dad would be there having a party, having a drink after the game.
Yep.
And you would go there. You would play your game, but you would have played footy all day with your brothers and your mates, and then you'd play your game, and then you'd just spend all day there playing footy. So
and then when you got home that night, you were rat shit.
and you were gone. and for me, it was either a sleepover at Hawley's house or a sleepover at my house, and that's how we grew up. And the families, like the Hall family, the Riddell family, the player behind me. That's Brent Sherwin's younger brother, Craig Sherwin. Yeah. So we had a heap of families, and the Hughes family, the Sherwin family, the Riddells, the Halls, the Rorties, Ben Rorty, the Rorty family, and
throwing some good names up there.
But that was just the club at the time, and so many of those players went on to play and have
probably because of the reason you just say they're all day playing footy.
Yeah,
you lived and breathed it, and that's why I mean, when did Mark Riddell know that? Once you finished your junior, when did you know you wanted to play footy as a?
I would say
as a career.
I would say when I was a 6 or 7 year old, my mum and dad sort of tell me stories that I would watch VHS tapes religiously. I remember a couple in particular. One was called Champions of Rugby League, and it was a highlights reel of all the best players in the 80s. I would take stats. I would sit there with a pen and paper and take stats on all the players. Then there was another one, the 86 Kangaroo Tour, and you understand this, and it was when they played all the games against all the English clubs during the week. And
I did it in 1990.
Yeah, exactly right.
I used to watch, like 78, I think it was the first one I started watching. Yeah. 82, every 4 years, and then 86. Well, I started going out with Brandy's sister when he went over. And
there you go.
And they used to write via correspondence to each other because there's no mobile phones.
Yeah.
And I knew Brandy because that was my second year at Penrith.
Right.
And the letters kept going back and forth between her and Brandy saying, thanks, Megs, going to Amsterdam this week on a week off, and I'll bring you back a present.
Yeah.
I said, bring me back a present? Like, no.
Of course
the Bulldog Bar. So in one of her last letters to Brandy, she says, by the way, Gregory, I'm seeing a under-23s player. You know where this is going, don't you?
Yes.
And then the letter come back from him about a week later. Great Meegs. Thanks for watching the games. It must be awesome. By the way, I'm glad you're going out with one of the under-23 players, as long as it's not Mark Guy. Well, here I am almost 40 years later. So.
How good.
I love it.
Mate, so that was it. The 86, and I still remember watching it. Terry Lamb, who was my favourite player, I'm pretty sure he played every game.
Were you a Doggy fan?
I was a Doggies fan growing up, and that was it. Just quickly before we go to the next one, the reason with that photo is Hawley's my best mate.
Yeah.
And just talking about him, we met when we were about 3 or 4 years of age. Our parents met. Our parents met when they signed us on for rugby league to play rugby league, and they've all got. My mum and dad and Hawley's mum and dad have all got sort of siblings that are similar ages and that were friends all growing up and still best mates to this day, best man at each other's weddings. My son's middle name's Glenn after him. And
that's awesome. So I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
I knew you were that close to Hawley.
Yeah, Hawley unfortunately had his wife had a stillborn son, Lachlan, and his middle name was Mark. So Lachlan Mark Hall. So that's how that's how special he is to me and vice versa. And pretty lucky to have a mate from when you were 3 or 4 years of age and
nothing better.
You're still in your 40s, and we're still talking to each other, every week or two. He's living up in Townsville, obviously. He's working for the Cowboys, but how good's that?
No, it's nothing better, Piggy.
Yep.
Well, this is photo number 3. Obviously, it's actually it's number 4. Gee, we're going through these.
Yeah.
Photo number 4 here. This is what you do it all for.
Yeah.
When you start playing rugby league, obviously you have an idea to set yourself up for life, and then along comes a beautiful woman and kids that complement everything. Tell us about your beautiful family and what this means to you, buddy.
Yeah, I love this photo because this was actually only taken last year. It was on a family trip to Fiji. And I thought it encompassed my whole family perfectly. My beautiful wife, Carly, we met, it'd be 20 years ago now, obviously. We met, got married, got 3 kids now, still happily married, living down on the South Coast. That's my eldest boy at the back in the middle giving the rude finger. That's that age. Harry, he's doing well. He's a really good kid. We're very lucky with our kids.
Where'd you meet your missus?
Met her at Rosehill Races, and I run with the story that she was there, and I was there watching a race, and walked up to her and said, "So, what are you backing here?" That was the lead-in line.
Did she give you any tips?
Yeah, no, she didn't give me any tips, but we ended up having a good day at the races, and
that's awesome,
and a night out. And then we met up, I don't know, a couple of weeks later, and
because she's a Riff girl, isn't she?
Yeah, Penrith girl. Yeah, Carly was actually out there with all her friends for a birthday, and I actually broke my thumb and had an operation the week before. And I was playing at Parramatta, and the team flew to the Gold Coast to play the Goldies.
So the weekend off.
So I had the weekend off. I'd just come out of hospital. Probably shouldn't have been doing it. Yeah. But we hired a corporate box with a few of the boys that weren't. And anyway, we ended up at the races that day and had a great day. And so I always say, if I didn't break my thumb, wouldn't have met Carly and wouldn't have happened.
Are the kids the sports people? Are the kids like sport? Or I suppose when you're living like you do down near water and stuff, they're water babies. They go to the nippers and stuff. Or?
Yeah, both the boys have all done nippers. That's my middle son William on the end there. They play footy. Play footy in winter. They do nippers. They do swimming. In summer, Oztag, all those sorts of sports. And then that's my daughter Ava. She's 8 at the moment. So
love of your life, isn't it? The daughters.
Yeah,
That's all right, brother.
I knew this would happen.
You just go when you're ready. Just take your time. Just in case.
I knew it would happen. Yeah, my daughter Ava, she's she's got she's got a severe disability.
Yep.
It's called Ogden syndrome. So,
yes, I've heard of Ogden syndrome.
Yeah, we to just sort of give a brief sort of description of it. Pregnancy, everything healthy, everything fine. She was born, everything normal, and then we had probably 12 months, I reckon, of just in and out of hospital. Carly in particular spent, I reckon, 3 to 4 months living in the Children's Hospital at Randwick. No one knew what it was. So, they used to call her the mystery baby in there at the Children's Hospital. And, she wasn't able to swallow properly. She had a number of things. She kept on catching pneumonia. So she had some heart complications as well, but she's
oh wow.
We didn't find out. We only found out probably, I think, 3 years ago that it was Ogden syndrome.
Far out.
Yeah, so Ogden syndrome's a relatively new syndrome, and what it actually is in your chromosome makeup, one letter is a T and it should be a C, and that's literally it. There's no sort of, it doesn't come from mum, doesn't come from dad. She's one of 4 children in Australia.
My goodness.
And one of 120 in the world that have got Ogden syndrome.
Far out.
Yeah, that's how rare it is. She's classified as probably severely mentally disabled and probably moderately physically disabled, but she's non-verbal, but she knows everything you're saying. So she can walk, she can run, she can eat and feed herself, which is phenomenal. But
she's the love of your life.
Oh, 100%.
She's the love of your life. Wow.
Yeah, so that's a special photo for that reason.
Well, you know what? Even though you sent these photos to me and you said that you were going to shed a tear, and we do when we see our family, and it reminds us of different stuff. But for you to be so brave to share that with the, people who didn't know that about your life, that someone might be watching this with something similar with one of their kids, and all of a sudden you've just changed someone's life.
Yeah, and I think for me, I suppose as a dad, and she's eight now. You sort of bottle everything up, and you think you're all right, and you say you're all right, and I personally need to talk more about it, and feel more comfortable talking about it.
Yep. Well done.
But you know what? She's really healthy in herself at the moment. The thing with Ogden syndrome is that if boys are diagnosed with Ogden syndrome, there's a fair chance that they won't survive. They don't survive, the boys, and the reason is because they've got two X chromosomes, and then the girls have obviously got the X and Y, so they've got a difference there. But hopefully and potentially Ava will live a long and healthy life. We've obviously got a lot of stuff we've got to go through every day with occupational therapists, speech therapists and whatnot. And I suppose, just on this track with Ava is it's probably one of the biggest reasons of why I'm back doing what I'm doing with the girls in the rugby league space.
Of course it is.
Because I sort of feel that, she'll never be able to do that. She'll never be able to play footy or do things like that. But
it's awesome, Piggy. She's fucking beautiful, brother. She's a beautiful little girl, and she's so lucky to have you as a dad, mate, because I know that you'll leave no stone unturned.
Oh, it's just, if I she can't do it, but if I can help.
Yeah, we are.
The other girls,
You are.
If I can help the other girls achieve their dreams, then, done the right thing.
Unbelievable, brother. Unbelievable. Let's get on to Ava. I know you're watching.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we are. That was, mate, geez, it's beautiful. You're a beautiful bloke. And that's raw. Yeah. And thank you for it. Okay, Piggy. I thought you might have had your try celebration as one of your photos because that's iconic.
Yeah.
You jump the, for those that know what I'm talking about, jumps the fence and sits there and starts clapping himself. Well, this is the as good as it gets over in Wigan Warriors. What year was this?
Yep.
Picture of you holding up the trophy. Tell us how'd you get to Wigan?
Yeah. I picked this photo because it's that was at the end of my career. And I'd been chasing a premiership my whole career, and you know how hard they are to win, and you're fortunate enough to win one. But I didn't. I got close on a couple of occasions, but never got one in the NRL. And this was when I went to Wigan. So I went to Wigan at the end of 2008, going into the 2009 season. I had a year there where we went pretty well, but just didn't get there. And then the bloke in the white shirt, Michael Maguire, came to Wigan in 2010 and taught me so much.
What a bloke.
We clashed early on.
Yep.
And
I tell that.
And
what way?
I just wasn't fit. I wasn't fit enough. I come back from my honeymoon at the end of 2009, and the boys were all messaging me, and they were saying,
"Get ready,
it's on." Like they'd never seen anything like
scary.
it. And yeah, we clashed, but Madge was great. I say this. Madge and I are great mates, and I say this all the time. I wish I had Michael Maguire some stage earlier in my career. He was very direct, very honest, and mate, he got me into the coach's office, and he just said to me, he goes, mate, I want you at this weight. If you're not at this weight, you're not playing in my team. And off I went, and it was almost like well, F you, Madge, I'm going to show you. And, mate, I did it. And what
was it? How much did you
Mate, I was
lose?
100 and something kilos, and I had to lose about 10 or 12 from December to the end of January. And I did it. Yeah, and he was great. He supported me. I had a bit of a bad back, and he had me training with a swimming squad every morning because that's what I love doing. And, mate, I was getting up at 5 a.m. in the middle of winter in England. And slaving it out and stripped all the weight, I played nearly every game that year. And we won the grand final. And that was...
Who'd you play against?
Played St Helens. That day we won 24-10, played at Old Trafford, which was like dream come true. Yeah, to play at Manchester United's home ground. Partied with a few of the Manchester United boys after it. They came down, Wayne Rooney, Rio Ferdinand, a few of those old boys. And that was the next day. That was
motorcade.
Yeah, so for people that don't know Wigan is like a Penrith. Yeah. They just live and breathe rugby league, which there's not many of those towns over in England, but they're probably one of the biggest. And that was the open top bus going through Wigan that we had a parade on. And
so rattle off some of the players you played with and against in this game.
Well, there's Sam Tonkins with a can on the left there. Wow. Sean O'Loughlin was our captain, probably very underrated over here, but mate, one of the best players I've played with. Thomas Luluai was a halfback. He was phenomenal. He got the player of the match in that game, Tommy Luluai. Paddy Richards, got a great Paddy Richards. He was on the wing in that game.
Far out,
mate. There was a fair few that played in that game. We won it that year. Mate, it was a sensational year, and as I said, Maggie.
Did you only have the 1 year at Wigan?
No, I had 2 years, 09 and 2010, and then halfway through that year, my mum unfortunately had breast cancer, and she's fine today, and she had a lot going on back then, and I had another year to go on my contract, and Carly and I just sort of decided it was best that we come home, and we came back to Australia, but. I'm always in debt to Madge and Michael Maguire for what he taught me that year, just about rugby league. Even though I think I was 29 or 30, but I was able to win the Super League, mate. And that was amazing. And still to this day, we've got a WhatsApp group with all the boys and all the staff on.
Fantastic,
and, mate. Every now and then, we're always texting each other and. So, mate, I was stoked. I'm stoked to see what Madge has done in his career because that was the start of it. You go through Madge's career. He won that in his first year of coaching. The next year he won the Challenge Cup there. Came back and did what he did at South. Won that. He's won the Origin for New South Wales, and now he's in a preliminary final for the Broncos. So,
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's special.
Well, them photos were special in more ways than one. I'm glad that you shared your family with us.
Thanks, mate.
Because I can see how much they mean to you, and that gives everyone another understanding of just how good a bloke you are, Piggy. Now for a bit of fun, my man. Give me 5. I'm going to ask you questions about 5 different things, and you just give me your answers.
Yep.
Number 1 is your favourite band and song.
Foo Fighters, Best of You or Hero, easily. Yep.
Fooey's your best.
I love Fooey's.
Really?
Yeah. Fooey's number 1. I've seen them a number of times. Absolutely love it. And I used to listen to all their music before I was playing.
Over the last maybe month, I've discovered on Spotify that you can, in your car, like, if you've got the car that's connected to it, you say, play the best of Eagles. And they'll say, playing the best of Eagles on Spotify.
Really?
You listen to all their songs.
Listen to all their songs?
Yes, on Spotify.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know
And I've done
that.
about 30 bands. I'm just going, oh, my goodness, I forgot they sang that. It's unbelievable.
How good's that?
Yeah, it's good. Do it. All-time favourite movie?
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
What a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think you're about the 22nd, 23rd.
Oh, really?
And I think about 10 people have said Shawshank.
Yeah, like I can put that movie on and just still today watch it every few
Old
months.
Andy Dupree.
Yes.
Apart from rugby league, what's your favourite other sport?
To watch or play? Or?
Maybe both. Probably to watch.
Swimming.
Swimming, to watch?
Swimming.
Far out.
Yeah, I love nothing more than watching the swimming whenever that's on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my favourite.
What about who's your most famous person in your contacts, do you think?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. I'm not big on the.
Oh, you've got some famous people, you know.
I don't know. That'd be all footy people.
Nick Politis?
No. I don't think Nick would want me ringing him in.
Cheese? Heck of cheese?
No, I'll steer clear of that one at the moment. Thank you. No short balls.
Mary McGregor.
Mary's in there. Mary's in there. There's plenty in
there.
there.
Madge Maguire.
Madge is in there.
Yeah.
He'd be the most.
Oh, okay. We know you've lost a lot of weight in recent time. You're looking fantastic. You always look fantastic. Doesn't matter what you weigh. But you've done something bad, mate, because you're on death row, unfortunately. So what would be the last meal that Mark P. Riddell would consume, and what would you have with it? What's the trimmings, dessert, and drink?
Oh, well, the main would be a chicken schnitzel fettuccine bolognese combo. Like no names, but homemade.
Yes.
Homemade.
Yes.
Drink would be a beer, 100%. Dessert, I'm a massive chocolate mud cake man with ice cream, but heat it up.
Heat it up so it melts.
Yeah, so it melts, and then put the ice cream on top. That'd do, me.
Oh, mate, well, you've been fantastic, Piggy. Thanks for joining us. I know you've travelled up today from Shell Harbour. That's your life in 5,
Thanks,
my man.
MG.
And thanks to Lily Pilly Wines. There's a nice white and nice red for you for
how good
being our guest today, buddy.
Thanks for thanks for that, MG, and thanks to Lily Pilly. How good's that, mate?
Thanks, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Piggy.